morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Movement Radio. I am Chip Hazard.
I am Talon Williams.
I'm Roger Sierra. Oh, we got quite a lineup today. Good Reddit story. Chip and I are going to discuss our weekend adventure at Fanboy Anime, the first one for this year, or the first one they've done it this year. We're going to talk about a week, go over a couple animes. Hopefully, we've all watched stuff. So, without further ado, let me get into this. It's not a bad Reddit story. It's a weird one. This one comes from the subreddit Legal Advice. And the title for this one is I accidentally created an army of crow bodyguards. Am I liable if my murder attempts murder? All right, so let's get this going.
Okay.
So to make a long story short, I am a late 20-something living in Portland, Oregon. I had a pretty intense emo/goth phase as a tween that I thought I had grown out of. A couple months ago, I was watching a nature program on a local station about crows. The program mentioned that if you feed and befriend them, crows will bring you small gifts. My emo phase came back full force, and I figured that I was furlonged and had lots of time, so why not make some crow friends? So this happened during, obviously, the pandemic.
Sounds like it.
My plan worked a little too well, and the resident 5 crows in my neighborhood have turned into an army 15 strong. At first, my neighbors didn't mind and enjoyed it. They're mostly elderly, and most were in a bird watching club anyway. They thought the fact that I had crows follow me around whenever I go outside was funny. Lately, the crows have started defending me. My neighbor came over for a socially distanced chat, me on my porch, her in my yard, and the crows started dive bombing her. They would not stop until she left my yard. They didn't make physical contact with her, but they got very close. Am I liable if these crows injure someone since I fed them? I obviously can't control the crows. I'd rather them not attack my neighbors, but since I technically created the nuisance, can I be financially on the hook for any injuries? And to be clear, they're not aggressive 100% of the time. If just the neighbors are out, they are friendly, normal crows. They only get aggressive when someone gets close to me or my property. Too long, didn't read, little edit. I have turned into Moira Rose, Queen of the Crows. My inadvertent crow army has gone aggressive towards others. If they hurt someone, can I be held liable? Also, a part 2 to that edit. I did not train these birds to attack. I'm glad my stupid decision brings everyone joys. Please consider donating the money to your local Audibel society instead. Thank you for all the awards on Reddit. So, guys, what do you think about this guy having a murder attempt? Well, not really attempt murder because they just dive bomb and barely go by people.
It reminds me of that. I know it was a book, and I think they made a movie out of it. A Murder of Crows.
Murder crows, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
but I mean, I can't give legal advice. Nobody here at Movement Radio are able to give you actual legal advice, but I don't believe you can be held liable for an animal that is a wild animal attacking your neighbors, unless these are your pets. Like, you know, for instance, if you have a tiger as a pet and you have it in a cage in your house,
some white people shit.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know. Oh, Big Boy had one in Law and Order SVU one time.
That's a show.
Oh, that's a TV show. So, you know, if you're the new Tiger King, you know, yeah, you could probably be held liable, but just like these birds stay outside, and they just do what they do. I don't think you can be liable for it.
No,
but I do want to say kudos to you for creating a A crow army.
I mean, that's a great defense right there. They're birds. You know how hard it is to get a bird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you say, Talon?
I mean, okay. Well, let's say it wasn't a crow. Let's follow me down this rabbit hole, if you will. Let's say it wasn't a crow. Let's say it was a dog, right? Let's say it's just a normal dog in the neighborhood. Maybe he's a stray. You know, you don't really want a dog or whatever. You like, you know, pet him or whatever, feed him a couple. Maybe he just stays outside your yard. He doesn't go in your yard. He's not on your property, whatever. And that dog attacks somebody. Are you liable for that dog even though you fed it and pet it? It's not your dog, technically, right? It would be the same for these crows. Now, granted, I know that dogs are a little bit more, are way more domesticated than a crow would be. But, you know, like, I don't know what kind of Brandon Lee WCW Sting kind of shit this guy's got going where he's just got crows following him around everywhere. But I don't think he could be held liable for a wild animal just doing what wild animals do, you know. Now, I ain't gonna lie, it might just be me and my sick imagination, but I would enjoy watching those birds coming down, not hurting anybody, obviously, but coming down, swooping and scaring the shit out of people. That might be fun to watch. Unless it happens to me, of course, and then it's like, oh, this is fucking stupid. But
there's a movie called Bird for that reason.
Yeah,
Right.
the Alfred Hitchcock movie, correct?
That's literally all it is. It's just birds dive bombing people and eating their faces.
Yeah, that is the only movie in cinema, to my knowledge. That is the only movie in cinema that does not have music. I think it has an opening theme and an ending theme, but there's no music in between and like segueing in anything or anything like that. I think that might be the only one that doesn't have music played throughout the movie. I could be wrong, but you know, it's just an interesting, useless trivia for you.
All right, so I want to give my little last bit of advice or insight, not advice. I'm gonna give you advice here. I mean, I think it's cool as shit.
Of course you do.
I mean, hey, you have protection from the sky. So if one of your neighbors really upsets you, what he needs to do is have a trained call word for them, so when they hear it, they know exactly when to attack. So he needs to train them to that point, not just when people rarely get on his property. But I mean, no, he's not legally viable for birds protecting him. I mean, they're birds;
Right.
they're not domesticated.
I mean, it's not like it's like a cockatoo or a damn parrot or something.
Right. Yeah. So no, I don't think you could be held liable. Again, we're not giving you legal advice here on Movement Radio.
No.
That's it's not what we do. We just give you our thoughts and opinions.
Plus,
So
let me look at when this was posted, because I don't think it would matter where now we get advice at this point.
That sounds like
4 years
some.
ago. So
What was it?
4 years ago. So we're
So
good.
COVID. Yeah.
Well, he said it was furloughed, so that's why it's like it hasn't even been pandemic. But yeah, it came out about 4 years ago, so we're safe.
Yeah.
yeah,
And it also it didn't give his location or anything. Also,
Yeah, he's in
did it?
Portland,
yeah.
Oregon.
He's in Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of weird shit goes on in Portland. Anyway.
Yeah, life is strange there.
Yeah. Shout out to all of our fans out in Portland, by the way.
I want to go to Portland, so y'all, we got any friends out there? Let me know.
Yes.
I'll come and visit.
Yep.
Don't send cocaine through the mail.
I think there's a couple of conventions out that way. Send us some information and tell those particular cons you want to see us there.
Yes, absolutely.
Facts. Oh, all right. All right, so we're going to move on to, I guess Chip and I discussed real quick the experience at Fanboy Anime Games and Toys, or Toys and Games. Which one was it?
Anime, toys, and gaming.
So that happened in Knoxville, Tennessee. It was the first one of that type. Fanboy Expo, Pop Culture usually runs yearly here, and they've not had a solid reputation. But we still gave the anime one a chance to see how it was going to go. It wasn't bad But for a guy who's been running conventions for like 10 years now, you could tell he didn't care. It wasn't. We had fun. Didn't. I mean, it was great meeting people and everything like that. I just feel like a person with the experience should know how to lay out the stuff better.
What exactly was different about this one than some of the
So
previous ones that we've done?
it's not the fact that it was different. It was the layout. And, we're brutally honest here at Movement Radio. We greatly appreciate any convention that allows us media passes, press passes to come in and cover their event. So greatly appreciate that. And of course, within doing that, we're also helping promote your event to a fan base that may or may not know of your event. Um, and I say all that to say that the layout was a little weird, because he had or whoever did the layout, whether it was the showrunner, or his help, we're not sure. We weren't given that information, but they had anime voice actors apart from other anime voice actors. Like for instance, they
Interesting.
had well, we'll just this is an example. They had Linda Young, who's the voice of Frieza, on one side of the room. And the other weird thing is they had guests on two sides of the room with the vendor hall in the middle, instead of all the guests together.
That's
So
okay.
they had Linda Young on one side of the vendor hall, and then they had R. Bruce Elliott, who's the voice of Captain Ginyu, and Mike McFarlane, who is the voice of Mr. Roshi, on the complete opposite side of the vendor hall.
Also, they had Cynthia, who was also Chi-Chi
Oh,
on the other side of the whole,
yeah,
but also away from Captain Ginyu and Master Roshi.
yeah. So they had Cynthia Crayons. She was on the same side of the vendor hall
But not next
as
to her people.
Mike McFarlane and R. Bruce Elliott. But the Ninja Turtles,
Was in the
the
middle of
the,
all of them.
the five voice actors from the 1987 Ninja Turtle series, was in between Cynthia Crayons and Mike McFarlane and R. Bruce Elliott.
You
So
kind of have to keep them together, though, right?
So the layout is like pretty much like this: vendor hall here in the middle, just in the big area in the middle.
mhm.
Okay.
Then guests up here and guests down here. You would have Frieza here, and then on the other side, Ginyu, Master Roshi, April O'Neil, Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, Chi-Chi.
Yes.
Oh, that's the weirdest
Now
outline
the
ever.
now the only thing that makes sense to have Cynthia Crayons where she was is she was signing autographs for free. Everybody else was charging for autographs, but Cynthia Crayons was signing autographs for free this weekend.
That was nice of her.
So she was, I guess that would be the logic between why she was in her own little kind of bubble, because there was a good bit of space between where her booth was. I think there was like some double doors or something. Correct me if I'm wrong, Roger.
Yeah, there were some double doors about
And
5 feet over her, something like that.
yeah, and then the next person is the voice of Raphael from the original Ninja Turtles. He also voices Wako from Animaniacs, Pinky
Yeah.
from Pinky and the Brain.
It is Yakko.
Donatello.
It is Yakko and Wacko, doesn't he?
I'm sorry, it's Yakko, not Wacko.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yakko.
I get them mixed up sometimes. That's my bad. But he also does Donatello in the
2012.
yeah.
Or was
Yeah.
it 2012, 2008?
I think it was 2012 because he
2012,
also
I
when
believe.
they also
I
did
believe
Half
it's
Shell
the
Heroes, and he
2012.
was because Half Shell Heroes he also did the voice of Donatello in Half Shell Heroes.
Yeah, so it was 2012 because it was the
yeah.
longer running one.
Yeah, but he
For
has,
sure.
and he has a plethora of other
Amazing voices.
voices. Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing voices to do that he does. but yeah, there's like Cynthia Crayons, and there's like a 5 foot gap, and then you have Rob Paulson, who, whether he wants to admit it or not, is legendary.
Yeah.
And I know,
Yes, absolutely.
um, so we did come away with some good interviews. We were able to interview Rob Paulson, Barry Gordon, Townsend Coleman, and why am I drawing a blank, Roger?
Cam Clark.
Cam Clark. Yes. So
And
that's the
we had another one.
Charlie.
Charlie Slater. Sorry, Slater.
Yes. So for those who don't know, probably you would know him most of all from the Honey Nut Cheerios bee.
Yeah, he's a Honey Nut Cheerio bee. He also
Yeah.
played Flash in the Justice League 2000. Oh crap, 5? When did that one come out?
It was at 4 or 5.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
From that TV series run.
And so those interviews will, some may have already come out by the time you listen to this, and some will be coming out, over the course of this week.
I didn't know this. I'm sorry. I was going through Rob Paulson's filmography of all the things that he's done, film, television, live action stuff. And I got to video games, and he's done a ton of video games. He did, of course, Animaniacs. He did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, obviously. I did not know that he was the voice of Gray Fox from Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, and
did not know, dude. That blows my mind.
Cam Clark was Ocelot?
Cam Clark? No.
No. He was Gray Fox.
No,
Cam Clark.
Cam Clark. Oh, okay.
Was he? I thought he was Liquid Snake.
I thought it was Ocelot. Well, Ocelot takes over Liquid Snake's body, remember?
Yeah.
And that's when he becomes Revolver Ocelot.
Yes.
But I think he might be. I think he's just Ocelot. Well, Ocelot in general.
He was Liquid Snake.
Was he just Liquid Snake?
It says here he was Liquid Snake, and he was a voice double for Matthew Broderick, and served as the singing voice for Simba in Lion King 2.
That's the one. That's one that threw me off.
Yeah. So I just want to personally thank Rob, Barry, Cam, and Townsend for giving us the opportunity to meet some of our childhood heroes, and Charlie as well. I don't mean to leave him out, because we all grew up with the Honey Nut Cheerios bee. The ones of us that are older grew up with the Honey Nut Cheerios bee, but and then he also did the voice of the Flash. So year one wasn't terrible for Fanboy Expo Anime Toys and Gaming, but like any year one con, there is room for improvement.
But we can't really say that when he's run cons for 10 years, though.
Yes and no. The reason I say that is because we all have heard the horror story from Fanboy Expo, their regular show from last year, how they didn't have enough people checking and allowing people in, and people were waiting outside for hours. That did not happen at Fanboy ATG. It was, they had a good bit of security. They had, you went through a metal detector. They opened mine and Roger's camera bags and checked to make sure that what we had in there was what we had in there. So there's some positives and some negatives. Like I said, for a year one con, and that's what we have to look at it as, because they've never done an Fanboy Anime Toy and Gaming before. There is room for improvement. Now, if we are fortunate enough to be asked back, we did have several guest relations and fanboy staff ask us if we were coming back for the July event. Um, and I'd love to. I'd love to come and experience your main show, your big, the WrestleMania of Fanboy, if you will, and give you my thoughts and opinions on that. So Fanboy Expo, if you're listening, hook you boys up. We'll come. We'll give you all the same great coverage that we gave you this weekend, and then some. I mean, you know what we do, so
What I'll ask this one.
I wouldn't be able to make July 1.
Okay.
Let me ask you guys this question. When you guys walked in there, how would you say, like, especially when all the fans came in there, what was the fan interaction like at this particular event? Because it is the first time for this event, even though it's being ran by somebody who has been doing it for a number of years now. Did you guys enjoy it from the standpoint of, like, obviously you guys, filming, taking pictures, getting interviews, things of that nature? What was the fan experience like, as far as like the vibe you got from the people who were there, attendees and stuff?
I mean, for the most part, I think the attendees enjoyed themselves. It seemed like even with all the big names, or what I would consider a big name, like Linda Young, Rob Berry, Cam Townsend, Cynthia, Mike McFarlane, Bruce Elliott, the guy who played Johnny Cage in the original Mortal Kombat, the guy who played Scorpion, the guy who played Sub-Zero. The biggest and longest line throughout the entire weekend was for the voice actors for Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's because those guys, this is like the first year they've actually done conventions, so
yes.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to go get their stuff done, like autographs and whatnot, and pictures and everything. But they lines was about 5 hours long.
Really?
They really were.
Yeah, like no joke. Like they could have had one side of the convention side themselves.
Like how it was with Robert England at ATL Comic Con?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Compare it to Robert England and Norman Reedus.
Gotcha.
I mean, it was constant. I mean, even up until we were getting ready to leave on Sunday, there was still people in line to meet the Red Dead Redemption actors.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
I mean, the people we talked to that were con-goers seemed to enjoy themselves, but the thing with Knox was that that's the second convention there. There's only 2 conventions there every year now, and they're both by the same person.
Was it pretty packed though when you guys were there?
Saturday was.
Saturday was. Sunday was. I mean, I guess you would call it your typical Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
You would have big lulls in the con goers.
Yeah.
Also, I think something that may have kind of hindered Sunday was also time change here in, or I guess it's really everywhere, but Sunday was daylight savings time.
Yeah.
So you sprung ahead, lost an hour. So I think people probably just forgot about time change and showed up late or whatnot. So, but I mean, all in all, I had a really, really good experience. And I honestly, I cannot wait for you guys to see the interviews that we did with the amazing and legendary voice actors that we were fortunate enough to meet and everything.
Yeah.
And also, Heather, if you're listening or watching this, you know who you are, and thank you so much for everything that you did for us this weekend. It does not go unthanked.
Not at all. It's actually pretty cool in how accommodating would be the word that she was to begin with.
Yes.
Especially after just barely knowing her for like 10 seconds.
So who is Heather?
She was the booker for
okay.
some of the talent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was she the one that helped you guys get access to robbing them?
Yep.
Okay.
She was their bookers.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Shout out to you, Heather.
Such a sweet lady, and
You want to divulge your secrets, huh? You want to divulge your secret?
if you ever need that hug, just call your boy up. I got you.
Oh, she was the one that you were talking about in the group chat. Okay.
Yeah. Chip had to do some things. Had to do something strange for some change. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
We all
do what you got to do to get to.
We all make. Everybody's got choices to make. He made his.
Exactly, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what therapy's for. But no. In all seriousness, no. She did a big favor to us that she really didn't have to do. Sweet lady, very energetic. I don't know how she had all that energy the whole weekend. Cause God, man.
And then still had sat down, got a tattoo, jumped up, and was gone again. Like, bruh, I need anytime I get a tattoo, I need a beer or something like. Calm
she was on the go.
Yes.
So yeah, we do look forward to working with her again in the very near future.
Yes. But overall, we both had fun. I got some artwork that's right here in the background. Street art of Inosuke and Yusuke Urameshi, my two boys. They were the original equal rights, equal fights boys. They don't care who you is.
Yep.
That's dope.
That's cool. I picked up the Cynthia Crane's Chi-Chi picture and autograph.
Yep.
Made some connections. Bumped into one asshole. We'll leave that to better times and better days.
Are you talking about Rocky?
No. Get away from him.
No. Yeah, there was one dude who just couldn't shut up.
Was it the guy that tried to sell you the patches? Because there was an issue there too.
No.
We didn't even bring that up last time, so
we're not going to bring up this dude. Like, we're not going to say what he did or anything. He's just some people just like to shoot themselves in the foot.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll explain after this episode. So.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But we'll go ahead and move on to our weeks. I guess I'll start today. Since I usually go last, I'll go first. Technically last week going into this week, I worked mostly in Cleveland again. I enjoy working there. Always great food options, and the crew there, they're newer people, and I like sort of being the senior, helping people out and just letting them learn new things and help them just when I can. They're a chill group and I like them. Awesome. And the place is always busy, so it's constantly just working, so it's never downtime, which I enjoy. I hate just not having something to do.
Yeah.
And then obviously Saturday and Sunday went to Fanboy. Trying to think, did I do anything else throughout the week? Oh, I went to the eye doctor finally. It's been 6 years because of insurance and stuff like that. We got me new contacts coming in, thank God, and also new glasses, thankfully, too, because I need new sets. But other than that, no, just that's about it. And yesterday, when I finally had some downtime, I did watch Delicious Dungeon. Didn't get a chance to watch Solo Leveling just yet.
Me neither.
Yeah, but I'm definitely gonna watch it. It's probably tonight before I go to bed. But that was pretty much my week.
Talon, well, how about you?
Well, I'll embarrass myself, I guess. I broke my tooth this week. See that? Yeah. I don't know how the hell I did it, but I broke my tooth this week. So I see a dentist appointment in my future, but other than that, I'll just look like Chris Benoit in 06. Oh, wait. Yeah. He didn't kill nobody yet. Then, um, also, I was obviously working the job, and the time change really messed me up on Saturday because I was like, hey, it's only 1 o'clock in the morning. Awesome. I look back up later. Oh shit, it's 3 o'clock. Damn it, I forgot about the time change. But other than that, I mean, caught up on some wrestling, caught up on some anime. I did get a chance. I didn't get a chance to watch Delicious in Dungeon until today, this afternoon. But I got me some new patches, so there they are. I
Okay.
was at GameStop, and there was somebody. There was some lady there. She had a Nintendo, like one of them vests on, like one of them winter vests, and it was just it had a Nintendo logo on it. And I'm sitting here, and when you go in, I don't know how many GameStop still do this, but you go into a GameStop, and they always have that kiosk there where you can play games and things of that nature. So I'm sitting here and I'm playing like the typical Nintendo games. I played the new Princess Peach Showtime game for a little bit, the demo at least. And it was pretty cool. The Mario versus Donkey Kong game, the new one, the demo, which was pretty cool also. And I'm just sitting there playing and minding my business, and this lady taps me on the shoulder, and I'm like, "Can I help you?" And she was like, "Oh, you look like you want some free patches," and just dropped them in front of me. And I was like, "Thank you," So I got a Mario and a Luigi patch. So these will go on my vest as soon as I get the chance to put them on there. Now I could iron them on, but we don't have an iron right now, But yeah, so I mean, yeah, that's pretty much been my week again. Just working the job and having to deal with. Maybe I shouldn't say it because he don't know about the podcast, so fuck him. No, he don't. He don't listen to me.
Loose lips sink ship.
I walked in Sunday afternoon. And normally on Sundays, it's not as bad as you think it is. I walked in there, and for those of you who don't know, full disclosure, I work at a restaurant as a dishwasher. And when I walk in, literally there are 13 garbage cans that are up to the brim of garbage and had not been taken care of. There are dishes literally stacked about 1.5 feet high. There's utensils and things that the line cooks need that haven't been taken care of yet. Not to mention the fact that there are at least 7 cup trays that have not been taken care of. And I was about 2 seconds of just screaming, "Fuck this," and walking away. I was like, but then I remembered, hey, Talon, you got this little thing called bills you got to take care of. So thank God that another guy that works with me was like, "Hey man, I'll do the garbage if you want to go ahead and just try to take care of the rest of the dishes." I got it all done in about 35 minutes. It may have been 45. I don't know. I was so upset I didn't even care about what time it was. And then one of the bartenders was in the back doing something or whatever. She was like, "Hey, you got it looking good back here. You okay?" I said, "I need a shot." And I said it in a joking manner. And next thing I know, about 5 minutes later, she came in with a shot of Jack. And I'm like, "What's this?" She goes, "It's your shot." I'm like, "I was only playing." She goes, "I already poured it. You better chug that." Okay. So I just took one shot and then I was ready for work then, But yeah, my job's not as exciting as, people make it out to be. In the moment, though, I was very, very upset. But yeah, got patches, caught up on wrestling, caught up on anime. Looking forward to tomorrow. We're taking Malachi and Piper to the jump park. Ain't been there in quite some time, so we're looking forward to that. We're gonna go to the new one out in the new one out there in the Hamilton Place area, the one we haven't been to yet, Urban Air.
The one that's been shut down twice for gun violence.
That's already been shut down. It got shut down again?
Yeah.
I didn't know it got shut down. I know it got shut down the first time, but I thought that they had cleared that shit up by now.
Nope.
How do you clear gun violence up?
Well, if push comes to shove, I'll just go over to Sky Zone, aka Superfly, aka Defy. They done had 3 different owners in the past 10 years, which is all good. But that being said, though, Chip, aside from your weekend, obviously at Fanboy Expo, how was your week this week?
I mean, the week was good. Did a lot of stuff around the house that needed to be done. Um, getting ready for, I guess you would call it spring cleaning.
Yep.
Getting ready to paint the exterior of the house.
Yep.
I'm actually kind of looking forward to cutting the grass. Um,
Right.
we went and bought a bunch of wildflower seed.
Hmm.
We we actually applied to become repollinators. Um,
It's interesting.
so if for anybody who doesn't know what a repollinator is, repollinator is someone who grows specific types of wildflowers in their yard, and those wildflowers are used to attract hummingbirds, bees, butterflies, um, and then they take the pollen and stuff from those plants and they repollinate other areas to kind of uplift and reproduce flowers and certain animals within the area.
Well, that's cool.
Um, yeah, so we applied to become repollinators. Went and bought a bunch of hummingbird and butterfly plants to put out in the yard. Really looking forward to that. Getting ready to start as soon as it dries up a little bit. We're going to start a garden. Um,
Mhm.
to start producing some of our own food. Uh, so that not that I'm like a tree hugger or anything, but I do think I do think that freshly grown vegetables taste a whole lot better than anything you can buy in the store.
Oh yeah.
And I do like a good bit of vegetables.
Yes.
So
Yeah. My
we
father-in-law's got a whole thing of vegetables. He grows his own vegetables and stuff. He grows tomatoes like crazy. So, yeah,
yeah.
I think we've given you some of his tomatoes one time. I think, yeah,
Yep.
very good.
Uh, so then obviously went to Fanboy Expo, ATG. Had a good time there. I was off work today as of this recording. Uh, Went and hit up a couple of thrift shops. Got some pretty cool stuff. Actually, oh excuse me. Actually picked up a really cool Demon Slayer backpack. Um, Sent you guys a picture of that
Yeah,
earlier.
it looked nice.
Um, got that for like dirt cheap, and it looks brand new. There's not any scuffs or scratches or anything on it, so I thought that was cool. Went and checked out Shaq's new restaurant. It's called Big Chicken. It was really good. I had the Shack Attack. Shack Attack is a big piece of crispy chicken thigh on a bun, and then on that you've got pepper jack cheese, sliced jalapenos, spicy barbecue sauce, and spicy coleslaw. Uh, that was really good. It took everything I had to get that. I mean, the portions are good. Um, Jessie could only eat half her sandwich. The boys could only eat like half of the popcorn chicken that they got. And when I say popcorn chicken, I mean the chicken, the popcorn chicken's like this big around. Uh,
That's a
it's
chicken
massive.
medallion, basically.
Yeah. So it's a really nice restaurant. We also had what's called dirty fries. It's their fries, which are very thinly sliced like steak fries. They're not as thick as regular steak fries. They're about a third of the thickness of regular steak fries, so they get a little bit crispier around the edges, which I love.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so you get with their dirty fries, you get those, and then it's covered with um, cheese, barbecue sauce, banana peppers. Oh man,
Man,
those were good.
yeah.
Um,
You said dirty fries, and it
yep.
brought back a memory in my mind. Back in 2016, my wife, my son, and my father-in-law, we went to Panama City Beach. And if you live in Panama City Beach, or you've been to Panama City Beach, then you know of Pineapple Willie's. It's one of the biggest places, that one of the most popular places. I won't say it's the biggest now because I haven't been there since 2018, but it's one of the most popular ones. But they had a dirty po' boy. And I was like, what is a dirty po' boy? It's basically just a regular po' boy sandwich, and it's got pulled pork on it, and the side, and pork barbecue sauce, cheese, and then you get a side of brown gravy, and you just pour the brown gravy over the top of the bro. That was probably the best sandwich I think I've eaten in a very, very long time. But yeah, you said dirty fries, and that's what brought that back to me. Yeah. I don't even know. Yeah, because Pineapple Willie's got hit pretty hard. I think when Hurricane Michael came through in 2018, that they got hit pretty hard. Their whole entire deck got pretty much shipped away, pretty much. But they're back up and running now. I still check out the beach cams every once in a while, just to reminisce.
So, but yeah, that's been my week so far. Yep.
Looking forward to tomorrow. I get that 15-yard dumpster. You talked about spring cleaning earlier. We're fixing to start hauling off a whole bunch of shit. So if you got anything you want to throw away, we got a 15-yard dumpster. If you want to throw something away, it'll be available. We'll have it for 10 days if you want to throw some shit away.
All right.
How many bodies would that fit?
15 yard. It depends on the height. It depends on the weight. It depends on male or female.
15 yards, 45 feet. It's about 6 foot people.
We'll just say how many of you can fit in there,
7.
Fallon?
Yeah.
So what now?
How many of you can fit in there?
How tall is it?
About 4 feet. No, about 5 feet tall.
So we lay them. If we lay them pole to pole and hold a hole, we probably get a good stack of bodies in there.
Shit. Did I say yard? I didn't mean to say yards. I'm a dumbass. 15 feet. I'm sorry. It's 15 feet by 15 feet by 5 feet. And the width of it's about 6 feet. So 5 by 6 by 15. So I'd probably say you could probably fit about 15 bodies, depending on if you decide you want to lay them straight. Now, if you want to spoon them the whole way through, you could probably fit about maybe 26, 27.
Hold a pole or hold a hole.
I don't know. 27 maybe?
That's it.
28 if you consider midget.
I mean, I got ops.
I'm sure you do. All right. Let's move on to our anime talk this week. You said we all watched Delicious in Dungeon this week, correct?
Yes.
I did, yes.
Okay, yeah. And I obviously watched this afternoon. How did you guys feel ultimately about this particular episode?
So originally Netflix had only put 10 episodes out to begin with. And then this week they randomly put up they were putting an 11th episode out, which surprised me because I thought, they were like, oh, we're going to advertise 10 episodes. They'd wrap it up in 10 episodes. Or episode 10 would be a cliffhanger, which episode 10 was a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it definitely was, yes.
So then I was like, okay, that's weird, whatever. Watched the episode finally, and I was like, oh, I bet they're like, you know what, we can't do it this way. Let's just finish the season out and see what happens, or make it just 11 episodes, maybe even 12 episodes. But episode 11, we basically get to the 5th floor, which was where the orcs, we're supposed to the town of orcs. But before we get there, our party is going down these stairs, and there's a bunch of these vines and tentacles everywhere, and they're trying to avoid them. But there's also these douchebag giant frogs.
Yeah, fuck them frogs.
The frogs are hiding in the vines, and they keep acquiring everybody's weapons and throwing them down this giant staircase. So everybody's pretty much left without a weapon. One of the frogs attempts to get Senchi's axe, and Senchi, Laos, and Marcel are holding on to this axe so they don't lose it. Chilchuck, at the same time, though, sees there's this vine on the wall right next to this frog, and he's like, oh, hey, wait, it's a trap. I can, get this vine out of here. I can set this trap going off. But he has this smart idea to ask Laos, who's supposed to be the monster man, how come these frogs can get through these vines and not be hurt by it?
Right.
And Laos is like, I don't know. That's just how they are. Which, I mean, honestly, that's the right answer, but
yeah,
nothing.
But then he takes the one because remember they killed one of them first.
Yeah, it was just right there.
And he wraps his hands in the frog skin just so that he can pull that plant out. So that once he pulls that plant out, because they talk about it in the wall, a lot of times these plants, the walls are hollow, so that's where they hide. But there's also booby traps and shit also. And if you watch the episode, you know that the plant was basically stuck in one of the booby traps. So as soon as Chilchuck pulls it all the way out, he pulls it out, and next thing you know, the frog comes in and gets a hold of Chilchuck. And I'm thinking, oh shit, like what's going on? And then the moment everything got pulled away, that arrow hits him right in the dome, not Chilchuck, but the frog. Flips him over, they pull him out, and he's like, don't do it again.
Suffocating.
Yeah.
But no, then our party finally gets down to the village, and they start looking around. They don't see any dragons, but they also see no life whatsoever. And they're walking around, they're exploring. They find I guess a pantry house or storage house of food and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was left behind by the orcs.
Yeah, they left in such a rush. So there was a lot of supplies still left over. So they could actually settle down and make a camp pretty much there. Mm-hmm. But as they're also investigating through, they find charred orc bodies, but they're still smoking, which means they're fresh. So the dragon is still active.
Still there, yeah.
You know what they say, get active, proactive. But but no, the dragon is somehow hiding, which I don't know how. But the guys, the group comes up with a big old plan to trap this dragon and take him down so they can actually beat him. Laos reveals that dragons have a weakness scale on their neck, but the rest of them are super hardened scales that are impervious to magic. Senshi pretty much basically asked them how have they taken out how the guys used to take out the dragons beforehand, and they also like, Fallon would just put protective magic on us, and then Shonu, Laos, and Nakami. What was her name again? The dwarf.
Nakami
would it's Nakami.
No, it's not.
Are you talking about the redhead?
It's Namari. It's Namari.
Namari. Nakami, Namari. Yeah, okay.
But they would distract the dragon.
Yeah, the other guy, his name is Shuro.
Shuro.
Okay.
Yeah.
We only literally hear his name 3 times in the whole series.
Yeah.
But no, they would distract, and while they were distracting the dragon, Marcel would charge up a big blast, hit the dragon in the face and cause destruction, and they would hit it in a scale on the neck when it's sort of knocked out-ish, I guess, or stunned from the blast, I guess would be the best way to say it. And so now they don't have most of those people anyways in that group. They have 3 warriors and a child, pretty much. But Chilchuck's not a child. But he's not battle ready. He's a rogue. He's not meant to do straight up battle. But no,
there was
good.
There was one part that you missed, and it was right in the middle of where everything was going on when Mr. Tansu reports to the local lord who was recently received a demand from the Elf King to return land that once belonged to the elves, which includes the dungeon that they're in. Yeah.
We'll go back to that.
And Tensu suspects the elves want the dungeon's unique spell of immortality. So we'll let you finish what you was going to do, and then we'll circle back to that.
Yeah, because I was going to say a side story. I was going to.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. But the party comes up with this new scheme of pretty much luring this dragon to this certain part of the town where there was a bunch of tall buildings and everything, and essentially distract the dragon enough to Marcel cause an explosion to crumple everything on to trap it. And while the thing was trapped, they would get it to look up at the same time to hit the dragon in the neck and defeat it that way. Mm-hmm. And then they pretty much get time to relax and enjoy themselves. And since she makes this awesomely baked, breaded frog.
Yes, dude.
Thing looks delicious cutlet over there.
Bro, I was sitting there, I was watching that whole thing. I'm like, I bet I could do that. Like, I might not be able, granted, I can't do it with frog. I could probably do it with some chicken or some pork or something, but that does look pretty damn good.
But also we get that story. But then the side story he's talking about is that we see the other party that we met before, the douchebag gnomes, and they go out of this. They come out of a mirror. And they
Yeah.
go to this king who's been apparently paying parties or paying this party specifically for scouting and advisement on situations what to do with the dungeon. We also get good lore about the war between the elves and the dwarves that pretty much caused the castle to be buried because the dwarves were just creating tons and tons of tunnel, and they eventually just gave way to the castle falling down underground. Um, and then from there, we also find out that the gnome is sort of he's advising this king, but also trying to fill his pockets as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You have the feeling already that he's not cool dude. He's going to be sending everybody
No.
regardless. But was it not? What did you say? Her name was again? Chip? Not.
No, it's Namari.
Namari. I gotta put that in my head. I want to say Nanami for some reason. Namari. She goes to this temple that's right by the one of the dungeon entrances, and she pretty much goes up to the mortician and asks about essentially to see if Fallon's body was there or been recovered or anything and brought back there. And he says no, her body's not been brought back. So that gives us hope that Fallon hasn't been brought back dead in the sense that nobody found her dead body, but if the dragon ate her, then she's poop. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, and Marcel even said, like, what if we do defeat the dragon, but Marcel still it got digested? You know, what if we're too late? You know, which does add to the intrigue of, you know, when we get to the cliffhanger at the end. You know, but yeah, it makes you want to see more of it. You know what I mean?
but there was also a moment in all of this where after our party is eating everything while they're eating, I mean, Leos thanks Marcel, Senshi, and Chilchuk for helping him through this journey.
Mm-hmm.
He told Senshi to thanks him literally for being a stranger and having the good heart to just pretty much help this party and teach them how to cook, and also just journey with them when he didn't have to, and just be a pretty good homie. Marcel, obviously, for all the things Marcel's done, from being a sense, pretty much the voice of reason, but also just for all the magic she's been able to help him with, and just being a good friend to them, and also for Chilchuk for helping them get through the dungeon faster than he would have if he would have went the actual way. They took a lot of shortcuts and secret passages because of him, because he is a rogue, and also for him also staying with the party regardless, even if he keeps putting at the front that he's only doing this for money, even though we know that's not true. If that was true, he would have left with Namari and them for money. So
Exactly.
But no, he's telling them this, and all three of them are eating, and they're like, they have food in their mouth, so they eat as fast as possible, get it down, and Marcel and Senshi are like, oh, of course, we're happy to help, and Chilchuk's like, you're so cringe, bro. Like,
yes.
So no, like, it's this episode had a lot of good moments overall. I really enjoyed it, even if it was a cliffhanger episode. It didn't feel like it just was an empty episode. You know what I mean? It didn't just was an episode just to set up the next episode to be the one. This one had a lot of parts in the middle that made worthwhile of watching. It wasn't just an empty episode.
Yeah, I like the side story that we're getting with Mr. Tansu and this lord that he's talking to, and the possible elves wanting to reclaim the dungeon and what that could possibly mean, and where does Senshi fall, and the mange, and like how not mange. I'm sorry, I'm thinking, is it Sage or is it Mange? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. The one that like originally like put the curse on the dungeon.
It was an evil wizard.
Yeah, the evil
Yeah,
wizard.
just an
Yeah,
evil wizard.
yeah, and when that, and you know, that story still has to be solved. Like, are they going to tell us who the wizard was? Are they going to give us some type of a backstory, an origin story to that? I'm intrigued. I'm really really hoping that they do have an episode 11 or 12 and finish out strong. Because when would they? Because I mean, if they did wrap up the season at 10 episodes, how long would we have to wait before we get to the next one?
Well,
Uh,
remember we looked it up that they had, what was it, 20 episodes, 24 episodes, something like that.
uh, yeah, I think so. And there's, I was just looking it up. There's 97 chapters in the manga.
Chapters or
Um,
volumes?
chapters. There's only 14 volumes because they have multiple chapters per volume.
Yeah.
And this is according to Wikipedia.
I'm trying to think, because I feel like it was longer than that, because it ran for 9 years. Nope, 97. Yep.
Hmm. There might actually be more that haven't been put out yet.
No,
Because
I'm on the actual
the
website for them.
okay, I was gonna say because the most recent one came out in America July, or is coming out. It's not even out yet. July 23rd, 2024.
Yeah, they're finally dubbing all of them,
Hmm.
or translating. I mean, sorry, not dubbing, but translating.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing that I learned that I'm super mad about is they actually have a pop-up restaurant
They had
uh,
one in Japan. Yeah,
in Shibuya, which is a metropolis
it's
of
a
Tokyo.
it's a commerce city.
Yeah, uh, where they had
Or-
actual food that was depicted in the manga, and it says that visitors were even given ramen packs that were said to be made from the red dragon. So, now the one thing that I thought was interesting about this episode that I'm surprised that neither of you touched on is this dragon doesn't seem to be a massive dragon. Um,
Yeah, it is. They said it was.
well, but if you go back and you watch the episode and you look at the archway that, because since she asks, how big is this dragon? And Laos looks up and says, oh, probably the size of that right there. And you see where the dragon has walked through and took out a little portion of this walkway.
Yeah.
Well, when they go up, it's only like 1 or 2 stories up. So it's not, I guess maybe I'm thinking massive dragon in other terms.
It's still like 20 feet tall.
Yeah, but most dragons are bigger than buildings. So I'm wondering if, yes, it's a massive dragon compared to the size of our characters, but is this like a teenage dragon, not a fully grown dragon? Now,
I
I've not
have
read any of the manga, so I don't know.
I haven't read any of the manga either, but I have a question. What if this dragon is just a red herring and this isn't exactly the red dragon that ate Fallon? What if this is another dragon? What if there's more than one dragon in this dungeon?
I mean, it's
It's possible. Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if we're gonna go by the logic, because I mean, the dragon did look. Even when I was watching with Malachi was like, that dragon don't look that big. I was like, okay, but he's big compared to the other, like we said, Senshi and all them. I'm looking forward to seeing where it's going to go from here, because again, now it's more than just it. The story has it's culminated to where it's not just about saving Fallon anymore. You also have these other these other things that are pulled into these other side stories and stuff. And now I'm thinking, like, as a viewer, it's like, how are these all going to come together in the end? You know what I mean? And some might be just a 2-3 episode arc, and some might be for the whole season. Uh, but yeah, I really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, I, and I can't wait to see where they go next week with episode 11 because like Roger said earlier, when we first looked it up and started talking about it, we Netflix had only listed 10 episodes,
Right.
and so I'm interested to see where they go from here, because if you look at the manga, they actually have multiple chapters. As a matter of fact, there's 7 chapters that are dedicated to the Red Dragon. So I want to know how much of those 7 chapters they're going to put into the next episode, or if they're going to split that into multiple episodes.
So the Red Dragon is also the 5th
what I mean?
arc of the manga. Do you hear me?
Yeah, it's the 5th arc of the manga. I didn't know if he was going to continue. That's why I didn't say nothing.
No, I was just looking it up. But it says that the dragon is about 20 foot tall and 25 meters, or I guess 20 meters tall and 25 meters from nose to tail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, this, the town they were in was an orc town. So they're bigger than people to begin with.
That's true.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes from here.
Yeah. But no, I didn't, like I said, I didn't watch anything else really else this week, and neither did town, so we slacked off this week.
I didn't either. Like I said, I spent most of the week doing some spring cleaning and getting ready for my garden, and then the weekend, where I usually spend most of my time catching up on anime, it was spent at a convention, which again I had a really good time there. So I watched Delicious in Dungeon this morning. I'll watch Solo Leveling and Unwanted Undead probably when we get done recording.
I'll probably watch Solo Leveling, and I'll try to sneak Sign of Affection in tomorrow, and Metallic Rouge probably on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
When are you gonna get Ninja Namwe in?
I watched it technically today at work, but I didn't get to focus much on them.
I'm 1 episode in.
Ninja Kamui?
Ninja Conway, yeah. I like it. I like the grittiness to it. I just like it, dude. That first scene where he beating like 15 people in one go, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna like this series. So yeah, I'm 1 episode in on that one. Again, that's really the only other one that I've watched this week besides Delicious the Dungeon, and I didn't get a chance to watch that until today. So probably when I get off here, I'll probably watch maybe one, maybe 2 episodes, and then get me some sleep, because I got a lot of shit to do tomorrow. But
no, I guess that'll be today's episode. Sorry we didn't get more anime, guys. Like we said, Chip and I were out this weekend, and weren't able to do it in town. I had to work this weekend. So for this coming week, we're gonna try to watch more anime, give you guys more updates on that stuff, everything like that. We're gonna try and post the videos from Fanboy Expo. They should be posting this week. If not, for sure they'll be posted all next week. We have 5 episodes, 6 episodes, or 6 episodes, 6 videos.
5 or 6, I can't remember.
Yeah, that we can put out. So just keep tuned for that. And obviously, throughout the weekend, Chip did take some cosplay photos. I got some too. I'll probably send those to you either today or tomorrow.
Okay.
on the drive, so you can upload some of those too. But we'll be posting those on the Facebook and Instagram, so just be on the lookout for that. Like we told everybody, just grab it, tag yourself, steal it, whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's there for you guys.
But yeah, and also again, thank you everybody who's been supporting us and has been down with us since day one. We really do appreciate you guys. Chip, anything you want to say before we bounce out here?
Yes, I do. First thing I want to say, rest in peace to Akira Toriyama, the creator of
Yes.
the Dragon Ball franchise. Passed away on March the 1st. I'm very happy for his family, not that he passed away, but that they were able to keep it a secret long enough that they could mourn and do the memorial in their way before they made the
Yes.
announcement, and they weren't bombarded with tons and tons of people asking what happened and all that. Second, shout out to Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. That is the next convention that you can see us at. That's in Huntsville, Alabama on April 12th, 13th, and 14th. So definitely get your tickets if you plan on going. And if you didn't plan on going, you probably should plan on going because it's going to be an amazing event.
Yes.
This will be our second year covering the event. Last year was great. This year I think is going to be even better. So huge shout out to them. We'll be posting more about that on our socials leading up to the event. And then, as always, please do not leave without leaving a like, comment, share, and subscribe on Spotify and right here on YouTube.
What about you, Roger? Any last words?
No, just thank you to the people at Fanboy that we interacted with. We met some cool people there. Thank you to the voice actors of the Ninja Turtles. We thank them so much for being such a great part of our childhood, but we can't thank you guys enough for what you really have done for us, our generation in general. And just thank you to all the fans that continue keep watching us and supporting us. It means a lot. Our views and everything are going up, and that's because of you guys sharing, commenting, liking it, just letting people know about us. We're doing what we're doing, and you guys like what we do, so we're going to keep doing it.
Absolutely. And if you do want to continue to support Movement Radio, check out streamlabs.com/Movement Radio/merch and go copy some merch. We got a whole lot of cool items to choose from. We got a My Hero Academia inspired shirt, a Dragon Ball Z inspired shirt, possibly maybe some other anime inspired things later down the road, maybe some Bleach, maybe some Demon Slayer, who knows? We'll work that out and we'll get back to you guys. Also, shout out to one of our sponsors, one of our big sponsors, and again, we thank them every single week, but we really do appreciate them. GearAnime.com. If you love socks, t-shirts, hoodies, jackets, even ugly Christmas sweaters, they got it from all your favorite animes. We're talking everything from Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Death Note, the list goes on and on of amazing animes that you guys can pick and choose from. And if you use promo code, if you go to gearanime.com/Movement Radio and use the code Move Radio, use the promo code Move Radio, that's MOVERADIO, you will get free shipping here in the United States. Also, one more quick thing I want to say. Rest in peace to Jimmy Vineyard, owner and operator of RCW. We've been going to RCW for many, many years when we were professional wrestlers. Jimmy's always been a good dude to me, even when he put up with all of my shenanigans that I did while I was there. Prayers for our good buddy Jeremy Vineyard, aka Torque. Shout out to Tyler Gazaway, brother. We love you, man. We're praying for you guys. And that being said, man, thank you guys so much for watching tonight. Again, we want to support Movement Radio, streamlabs.com/Movement Radio/merch. And thank you guys for joining us, and we'll catch you next time. I'm Talon Williams.
I am Chip Hazard.
And I'm Roger Sierra.
And this is Movement Radio.
God's plan.